Give me a little bit of an update. I'm going to hold on a few seconds, let some people come in about tonight's events. So just give me a minute. But it's been an interesting night so far. Me and Tina are on our way home. We just dropped off Zack at John's place because, hey Gothic King Cobra, aka Museum, thank you. Just giving everyone a heads up, Zack's been dropped off. I'll be coming back to pick them up later in the morning to go to our event today. Technically today, this morning. But, hey, Visions. Alright. Just passing on. Zack is safe and sound. He's over at John's. Zack, hey, Lark. Yep. It's going to be fun tomorrow. Zack needs it. He needed to get out, get away. We did tell him once we get there, he's turning his phone off. That way, especially if someone starts trying to blow up his phone, if it's off, they can't do it. So Zack can join my live, or he can join John's live at the convention tomorrow, or today. I keep getting the things a little bit skewed here, don't I? Hey, Hetrix. Thanks, guys. I do appreciate it. Hey, I've been telling Zack, John has been telling Zack that if he needs our help, we'll be there for him. I've offered to help him move multiple times. John's told him that he could crash at his house in an emergency. Well, that's what we did. Because you can't leave a friend hanging. Just to let you guys know, no, Zack did not delete the live. That live right now is in private mode. To let you guys know that. Who's Steve? No, I'm not Steve. No, I'm not Steve. What? But thank you for joining my chat. I don't normally do a middle of the night chat live stream. This is a new one. No, oh, Minecraft Steve. Chicken Chucky! Yeah, I probably could go with Steve to one of these conventions. Yeah. Now, I would need is a blocky looking Dennis wolf dog. Thanks for pointing out the Minecraft part of it. Then it makes more sense for the Steve. I love the Minecraft movie, Tina. Jack Black. He has a gray beard now. And in the movie, he's Minecraft Steve, which is the character from Minecraft. Oh, yeah.
Hi, Chicken Wizard. How you doing?
La 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 lava. Chicken. Steve's lava chicken is spicy as hell. One bite and it's ringing your bell. yeah, we will. That's one reason why we've encouraged him to go to the con, because he needs something to get his mind off of everything that's going on. He's already made up his mind what's going on. He's going to call he's leaving a message for his mother so she's aware of what's going on. And yes, we did retrieve Zack's car. Zack will be driving to the convention tomorrow. James is probably going to ride with him. And we'll take it from there. Oh yeah, we're not going to be bugging him about this situation. Not at all.
Yeah.
But Zack is realizing, yeah, everyone that was telling him a long time ago, he should have listened. And now he's realizing that, he's admitting it. That's the first step, guys. Since a lot of times I'm not in Zack's live when Bree's on, I don't think she's fully connected who I am yet. But if she starts stuff in my chat, she'll get bounced.
And if I go to start my chat,
Tina, enough right now, please. You don't need to be trying to start stuff. But yeah. Well, we're also trying to keep him from also touching the alcohol, because like Zack said, he used to do alcohol and everything. And I'm sorry, but that's one of the last things he needs to actually touch right now, because it's too easy to fall back into old habits. Now, in my younger days, yes, I used to drink quite a bit of alcohol, but I also didn't drink all the time in the Navy. Yeah, I got drunk quite a few times in the Navy, but I didn't let it rule my life. I've seen alcohol destroy so many lives. I watched this one guy, worked with this one guy. He was such an alcoholic. Got off work working for the public school system as a carpenter. This guy, they stopped and got some beer. Before they even pulled out of the parking lot, he had downed 6 cans.
damn.
Basically shotgunned 6 cans down. It's like, holy crud. Me, I've never developed a taste for beer. And I can drink wine occasionally, but my main drinks are like sake and hard alcohols. And for me, it's every once in a great while. Now, I did buy 2 small cans of Seagram's pre-mixed alcohol beverages, because they had the WWE logo on it. So when I got home, I poked 2 small holes in the very bottom of the can, drank the liquid so that Tina could keep the unopened top part of the can as part of her collection. She's like, why didn't you let me drink it? Because you don't need to be drinking it, Tina. Yes. Yes. Yeah. And the thing is, the guy, Andy, he asked Zack, can I still get a ride back and forth to work until I get the truck? Why didn't he already have a vehicle by now? Considering how far we had to drive just to get to where he worked. That's one thing that got me, is like, there were so many places closer, but he's working. And right now with the other Dave, having that DUI on him now, I don't think he'll ever be able to get a car, especially if he's a repeat offender. And yes, Zack was supporting Bree all this time, and yeah, it was so much together. But the thing is, Bree saying that she's 17, she can't get a job because of child labor laws, and then she cites her trying to get a job at 12. Yeah, they're not going to hire a 12-year-old. You got to be a minimum of 16 before you can get hired. And most people, most kids get their first job like at Publix, being a bag boy or bag girl, or Walmart or someplace like that. I've actually been suggesting to James that he applies to either Advanced Auto or AutoZone, since both of those will train him. They'll work around his hours for school, and they actually have some good benefits. And for James, it'd be within walking distance. Plus, I bought James a e-bike a while back, so he could actually ride that back and forth to work if he needed to. But her argument about not being able to get a job because of child labor laws is like, that's bull. These child labor laws have been on the books since I was a kid. They haven't really changed. 16 and 17-year-olds have to be let go by, I think, 9 or 11 o'clock. 9 o'clock weekdays, I think 11 o'clock on weekends, if I remember correctly. Plus, back when I first got a job, minimum wage was like 2-something to almost 3-something an hour. So these kids got it better now. They can minimum wage is what, 10, 12 bucks now in some places. You can get some let me do a different window. It's gonna be a little noisy in here because I'm cracking up a little bit. To cool it off in the car. Because if I turn on the AC, it's going to be blowing across the microphone. I agree with you, Hendrix. Yeah, a lot of these kids, put it this way, Zack not being an actual biological parent, he couldn't really punish her for anything. Florida law allows you to actually spank a kid by only a certain number of whacks, and not with a paddle or a belt. But the thing is, ever since they did that, parents are afraid because the kids will go, "You touched me and I'll call the cops on you." Well, the thing is, when Bree pushed him, he was actually within his right by self-defense to actually hit her. Either hit her or shove her. Because, I'm sorry, I don't care how angry you get, even in the nations, the male in the nations, they don't raise a hand to a woman unless the woman raises the hand first. That's why in the Creek Nation, one of the first females to become chief of the nation is a woman, because she was also a decorated veteran. right to lead. Just like every boy in the nation is considered a boy until he goes through a manhood ceremony or he goes into the military. Once any child goes into the military in the nation and they go through their entire enlistment and such and they come out, they are respected. They have earned their manhood. They have earned their right to sit with the other warriors of the tribe. Bree, it's like, holy crud, the way she was going off on him. Was screaming entitled, spoiled brat. And it's like, you have got to be shitting me. Yes, I am harping on Bree because I'm sorry. I see entitlement in a lot of the kids nowadays. The talking down to an adult like they're a child when they're only a child of maybe 12. It's like, excuse me, you haven't lived long enough to get the experience to talk down to an adult. When they walk off going, I know, when you're trying to give them some important information, it's like, well, if you get yourself hurt, it's your own fault because you wanted to ignore the instructions, wanted to ignore the advice. Because that means they have no respect for any adult. Yeah, and when she gets her first job and she pulls that shit, she's going to get knocked down so fast by the boss, not physically, but demoted or shortened hours. Oh yeah, a lot of these kids learn really quick how the real world is when they have to start earning money. It's not like today where the kids can actually go out and mow lawns like I used to back in the day. And I used to take an electric lawnmower around to do it when I lived over in Port Orange until I got a gas-powered one. And even then, I worked my butt off to do it. And my first job was as a dishwasher before I went into the military at 18. If Bree really wants to get a job and she can't find one around, hey, maybe you can enlist in the military. You get to pick the branch.
She has to. Can't. Partly responsible. To be honest with you, because like I said, Zack, yeah, he was partly responsible for her upbringing because of Liz. Liz only left the picture about 2 years ago to go up, I think, as far as I know, 2 or maybe 3 years ago, to be up there in the Illinois area or wherever she went to. And the thing is, Zack and Liz were never married. Zack technically has no financial responsibility, and Zack never set the boundaries because he wanted to stay with Liz and he didn't want to piss off Bree to piss off Liz. In my opinion there. Exactly, Hetrix. Zack is like 1/3 responsible. And actually, 1/3 to Zack, about maybe a little bit more of a third to Liz. Well, actually, and a third to her father, I believe, Dave. But there's also another part, Bree herself. Because she has to realize she ain't the one in charge. His parents, they give in, the actual parents, they give in and allow that And with, unfortunately, Zack basically being more of a glorified babysitter in her upbringing, unfortunately, me having to say that, I'm not trying to come down on Zack about it, but in the long run, he became basically the walking ATM for her. Basically, walking ATM and Uber driver. Pure and simple. And once a kid realizes they can get away with it with you, they're going to try every time. Until you push back, and then it's like, oh my God, why did you do that? Basically what happened tonight. And the thing is, Bree knew it was coming, and somehow, like Zack said, she listened in either at the door or whatever. Yes, Zack does get loud. So does John. Sometimes I do too. But if she's in a whole nother room with her door shut, you literally would have to be screaming to be clearly heard, unless you're standing near the door, listening in. And Bree calling Kate all types of things. Well, actually, the situation between Zack and Liz was in that mode for a long time. And then when Liz came back and wouldn't even spend any time with Zack, that just showed her where her priorities was. Yes, I know Liz is right now undergoing some type of medical treatment up north, but you still have to provide. You can't do long distance parenting through a proxy. And where are the grandparents in all this? Because they both have, Bree has grandparents on both sides. It's just unreal, the situation. But that's one reason why it's like, oh crap, I went and got him. I agree with you. But she was dangling that carrot in front of him of possibly a long-term commitment. Well, evidently, him and Liz hooked up when Bree was very young. I'm not sure how long Liz has been, quote unquote, out of Bree's life, so to speak. So I can't speak well of that. But I'm sorry. It felt more like Liz abandoned her child on Zack, and Zack let Dave and Andy move in. Tony, he's 20. He can get a job. He can move out. It's like that t-shirt you see all over the place. Hey, teenagers, get out of the house. Get a job. That way you can live by your own rules. Do it while you know everything. That's the problem. Some of these kids think they know it all, and then reality pops up and slacks them hard across the face. And I'm sorry, guys.
sometimes these kids need the rude awakening. And maybe Zack moving out is going to wake up Bree after how good she had it. Because when me, John, James, and Zack were at City Walk, doing the alien golf course there at City Walk, she called literally almost every 5 minutes while we're playing. And Zack was just getting more and more and more annoyed because she knew it was going to push his buttons. That's one reason why me and John are suggesting that he turn his phone off. Or at least turn off notifications or something so that he can actually enjoy the convention without her trying to melt down his phone. Because I'm tell you one thing, I have a feeling after he talks with her, she's probably going to start the same shit up. And that'll be the end of it. Because she was on a good. Zack said, okay, he's going to still try and be part of her life. Well, the thing is, if she keeps up this shit, she's going to burn a bridge she can never rebuild. And she needs to start treating Zack like a proper human being. And treat him like someone that has been around for her instead of trying to walk all over him. And that's one thing she needs to realize. Alright guys, I've vented enough on this whole thing. Yes, Zack? Exactly. Yeah, I'm doing a live. I vented a bit, gave my opinion on the situation. Everyone agrees you are only 1/3 responsible for Bree's upbringing. If anything, you should have only been a quarter. Because part of that upbringing is also on Bree herself to learn respect for her elders and the people that are actually taking care of her. And not trying to walk all over them. But hopefully your talk tomorrow with her, tomorrow afternoon or whatever, goes well. Hopefully she realizes she fucked up and put the foot in her own mouth. And just about up to her kneecap. Because she's going to learn really quick. The real world does not play games. And they don't care how entitled you are. These bosses out here. And nowadays, a lot of the bosses are not even bothering to hire some teenagers because of their attitudes or the way they dress. Because they only last a week to 2 weeks, if that, once they realize they have to do real work. And they wasted all that money on training. That's why some of these places, they only hire experienced workers that have some type of job history. Technically, I think Universal does that a little bit. They'd rather you have a little bit of job history before you get hired on with them. That's why they have the school to work program there at Universal with kids that are about to fail out of school. They go to Universal, they have a classroom set up there to where they go to school part of the day and then they go and work an actual job there on property. A school bus brings them to the Universal and a school bus picks them up to take them home. And these are all high school kids. But this thing, Bree quoting, trying to quote Florida child labor laws, she needs to read it. Give herself more of an education instead of going by something she found out when she was 12. Of course, no one's going to hire her at 12. No business will hire a 12-year-old. Yeah, this long distance parenting thing Liz tried out, I think kind of backfired on her because of the way Bree was
in the
acting.
chat.
Yo, John, yep. Oh, she dropped out of school. Yes, because she thinks she knows it all. Worst thing she did, because a lot of these places require a high school diploma. Even the military requires a high school diploma now to get a job. If I remember correctly, even McDonald's requires a high school diploma. And if she doesn't want to listen to Zack, how is she ever going to listen to a boss? Well, Danny D, Zack, like me, are both on disability. Me, it's from all the injuries I got during my military service and such. It's caught up to me to where I can't really fully function. Zack has his own issues. Tina has hers. Everyone has their own issues. But the thing is, Zack has tried to get a job. The thing is, there's certain criteria that will probably keep him. Yep. Exactly. One, he has Tourette's, the bipolar, and sometimes it seems like oppositional defiance as well. That can be a bad combination. I had a friend here where I live who passed away a couple of years ago. Actually, about 6 years ago now, come to think of it. No, 7 years now. Man, it's been that long. Who was basically similar, but each person is different. And my friend, his name was Jim, he had a hard time keeping a job because of his explosive anger, as well as his other diagnoses. So well, the thing is, Bree was also saying, I can't get a job. Child labor laws won't allow a 17-year-old to get a job. Bullshit. A 16-year-old can get a job. A 17-year-old can get a job. There's just restrictions on how many hours they can work. And because she tried to get a job at 12 and they wouldn't hire her because of the child labor laws. And she's using that as her shield. It's like, bullshit. A 16-year-old and a 17-year-old can both go in the military with the parents' authorization. Bree ain't that far from being 18, which means she get a small-time job somewhere, get the experience. James wants to get a job out at Universal. I told him, no, get a job somewhere else out here, get the job experience, then go to Universal. Because once you lose your job there at Universal, or you lose your job at Disney, you get fired, you can't go back and get rehired there in a different position. You're blocked. Get the real world experience first, then go to where you want to work on a permanent basis. That's what I've been teaching James. Yeah, Danny D, it is. Okay, what happened here? Well, I was going by her reaction to him tonight and the pure entitlement she was exuding, yelling at him the way she was, even shoving him because, oh my God, he's moving out. Who's going to buy my food? That should be the responsibility of your dad, who also lives there in the home. Just saying. it goes both ways on that part. Yep, YouTube can become a job once you get to a certain level. And well, the thing is, Bree hasn't even applied for a job. Zack at least has tried. That's the difference. God. Timed out for 1 second, it looks like. I thought I took care of damn Streamlabs. Oh, there's a file language filter in Streamlabs. Part of it's because Zack has spent so much of his money on Bree and the Dave that lives there at the apartment and Tony and Andy. Especially in gasoline, considering gasoline is over about $4 where I live, is about almost $4 where he lives. And I was like, oh, you got to be shitting me. Because that eats up quite a bit of money, especially a 10-gallon tank. You're putting in 40 to almost, or 12-gallon tank, if you count the reserves, you're putting in almost $40 to $50 in gas. And he's put a lot of wear and tear on his car. You'd be surprised how fast gas eats up, and how quick you could actually go 200 and something miles. That's the whole thing with everything, guys. Well, I'm gonna sign off. Have a good night, Zach. Have a good night, John. Good night, everyone. I'll be probably talking to you again from the convention tomorrow. And I won't be bringing up any of this at the convention because Zack needs the rest. He needs a little bit of time to let his mental faculties calm down, organize, because that's the other thing is Bree knows what buttons to push on Zack. That's another thing that she was doing. And you can't constantly counteract that. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off now. You have a good one. Talk to you guys later on this live drive back to my home. You have a good one, guys. Good night.